start.
So having understood well the two theories of evolution, that is the Lamarckism and Darwinism, I would like us to try out these two questions to test ourselves. So, but we can continue with the rest of the lesson, and we are going to you cannot talk about evolution and leave out variation, because it is the variations that cause evolution that further cause speciation. So, to remind ourselves, variation, this is a difference within the characteristics of the same species. Simple as that. So, we want to look at the types of variation. We have two types of variation, and the first one is continuous variation. Refer to the PPT. Let's read it together. This is a gradual change in the characteristics of individuals, of one individual to another, without a clear cut difference. From the word continuous, sorry. So we have a difference in the characteristics of living organisms, but there is no clear-cut difference between the two. Let's look at an example of height. There is no clear-cut difference between the short people and the tall people. If I have one person like this, another person like this, these people are not exactly equal in height, but someone may not exactly say that this one is short. When you're saying this one is short, there is also this one. How would you refer to that? So you see that. So we don't have a clear-cut difference between the two characteristics. In other words, we don't have a clear difference between who is tall, who is short. Another characteristic I can use is the color. There is no clear-cut difference between the black ones and the brown. Someone will say, this one is black. No, another person will say, this one is chocolate, you see? So there is no clear-cut difference between the characteristics. So we call those characters, or that type of variation, continuous variation. And when we plot those characters, we usually obtain a graph that is continuous like this. We go to another type of variation, which is the discontinuous. Discontinuous variation. This is a type of variation where there is a clear cut difference between the characteristics of the individuals. Take a look at an example of sex. You are either a male or a female. In other words, one cannot get confused that, is she a male? Is she? So there is a clear-cut difference between the characteristics of the individuals. Another example I can give you is tongue rolling. Someone is able to roll the tongue. I hope you know that. Someone is able to roll the tongue. You either know or you don't know completely. There is no intermediates between these variations. And then we move on to natural selection, or the types of I want to refer us to the PPT as we are discussing the types of natural selection. natural selection. If you don't remember, we can remind ourselves that this is an passive process that determines who to live. In other words, favors those that are fit and disqualifies or eliminates those that are unfit. And we have basically three types of natural selection. The first one is the directional selection, from the word directional. It favors individuals at a particular extreme of the population. You look at the first curve, the first graph. Let's refer to the first graph. You see the graph with the dotted line. It refers to the original population. And then the line with the second line without the dots is referring to the population after the selection. So you see that organisms on one side were favored and organisms on another side were not favored. That's why we call it directional selection. Take a look at an example of the moth. These are butterflies, a particular species of butterflies. They believe that within a region where there is pollution, you're going to find that the trees where these butterflies hang are going to be colored somehow black because of the soot that is released from the industries. So you find that these moths that are black colored are going to be favored within that region, whereas the moths that are white in color are going to be selected against. What do I mean? They are going to be very easily seen by the predators. They are going to be easily captured and eaten. So their species will reduce, whereas the black species will continue to flourish. That is direction. That is directing in form of color. But you find that at a region that is very far from the industry, the trees are going to be not colored, so the white moths will be highly favored, whereas the black moth will be easily highly spotted out by the predators and will be easily eaten. Hope that type of selection is clear. We move on to the second type of natural selection, which is called the stabilizing selection. Look at it, graph B. Stabilizing, from the word stabilizing, it is favoring individuals that are in between. It cuts off the end point and the other end point. Again, refer to the dots, the dotted lines. That is the original population before the selection pressure. The dark line, that is the population after the selection pressure. An example we can use is the babies. Usually, nature favors when we refer to the weight of the babies, usually babies are born with a weight of 3.5. You find that these are favored. The ones that are less in weight will be very small, first of all. They will be having a large surface area exposed to the environment. They can easily die because they are going to lose a lot of heat to the environment. So this side is selected against. And the overweight babies, that is 4 kilograms and above, usually die during their delivery. So you find that nature is now favoring the medium weight of the baby. Such type of selection is referred to as stabilizing selection. And the third type of selection is called the disruptive selection or diversifying selection. This is going to select against the intermediate. In other words, it's going to cause diversity, difference in the organisms. You find the extremes are favored, the other extreme is favored, but the intermediates are selected against. You can refer to the graph just slightly opposite that one of the rabbits. you find that the original rabbit species were usually white, but the white species are easily identified by their predators. So they evolved into the dark ones and the gray ones. The dark ones cannot easily seen, so they flourish, and the gray ones are not easily seen, so they also flourish. But the white ones are easily seen by their predators and are selected against. So you find that the black ones will be high and the brown ones will be high, whereas the white ones will be very minimal within the population. We have identified, we have explained the different types of natural selection, and that concludes our topic today. Once again, these videos are there on our YouTube. You can, in the different subjects, you can visit our YouTube, check them out, refer a friend to them, and then like,